Okay, guys, let's check out the key for this quiz. This is a pretty basic one. Number one is just following through with the formula. The area of a sector is the arc measure over 360 times pi r squared. The arc measure here is 45 degrees. The radius is 10. So when we work all that out, and we have to leave our answer in terms of pi for this one, we get 12.5 pi inches squared. So 12.5 pi inches squared. We look at number two. This one's slightly different. We got to round to the nearest hundredth. Also, they don't give us the radius. They give us a diameter, and they don't give us directly the arc measure either. So to get the arc measure, I have to do 180 minus 72. So the arc measure is 108. And because the diameter is 10, that means the radius will be 5. So when I go to plug my values into my formula here, I use 108 as the arc measure. I use 5 as the radius. And so I work that out, and I get 7.5 pi, but I wanted to the nearest hundredth, so I'll work that out. I get 23.56 units squared. For number three, this one is as straightforward as it gets when it comes to regular polygons, because they give us all the information. I know the formula is 1/2 times the side length times the apothem times the number of sides. So the side length they gave me was 3.2. The apothem they gave me was 5.5. And we count up the number of sides. There are 11 sides. So when we multiply all that together, we get 96.8 square inches. Okay, looking at number four, this one is very similar to ones you did in your notes, but is a little bit tough. Okay, so let's look. Formula is 1/2 times S times A times N. Side length is 20, got that. Number of sides is 6, got that. The only thing I'm missing is what I've written in blue here, which is the apothem. That's the only thing that I have missing. So you could solve this one of two ways. You could come down here. Well, first you have to draw a triangle no matter what. Come down here and we draw a triangle. And so if the whole side length was 20, well, half of that's going to be 10. So you get to do one of two things. You could recognize this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle because it's in a hexagon. And so then if that's 10, the apothem is just going to be 10 radical 3. If you recognize that shortcut, which I've suggested that you guys memorize, you're done, right? Plug 10 radical 3 in for the apothem and multiply it out. If you don't remember that shortcut, you do have one other way of solving this. We have a way of solving that there's 120 degrees in each of these angles, but you probably know that already because you're pretty good at hexagons by now. Either way, 60 degrees is this angle. We have the apothem, we have the side length, and so we go through and we just use a little bit of trig, SOHCAHTOA. Tangent 60 equals the opposite over the adjacent, or the apothem over 10. Multiply both sides by 10, and that gets you the apothem. That value would be the same numerically, and so you multiply that out, you get 1,039.23 centimeters squared. Last but not least, guys, on this one, same formula, 1/2 SAN. In this case, we're given the apothem. In fact, it tells us in the directions 8 feet is the length of the apothem. The number of sides is 5, so all we have to find is the length of one of these sides. So all I have to do is find the length of one of these sides. By now, you guys know, look, a triangle is the way I'm going to solve for this. And so I draw in a triangle, and I call that X. I just call that length X. You have to use the polygon sum conjecture to figure out there's 108 degrees in kind of each part of the, for each angle of a regular pentagon. Half of that is 54. So I say the tangent of 54 equals 8 over x. Multiply both sides by x, divide both sides by the tangent of 54, and you get 5.812. Now the most common mistake guys make is they plug 5.812 in there, but you shouldn't do that, and here's why. Because x isn't the whole side length. X is just half the side length, right? It takes 2 of those to come up with the entire length of the side. So you have to double that. To get the side length, you need to do 2 times that number. And so if your answer is off by a factor of 2, that's probably where you messed up. So the side length here is actually 11.6247. not 5.812. You multiply all that out, you get 232.49 square feet, and there you have it. Hope you guys did well on this. Have a good day.